So here we are in the tunnel at the Swansea.com stadium. Swansea legends either side of me on the picture boards here. But we're here to see the man of the moment. And it's the Swansea City manager, Vitor Matos. Came in November, has made a big difference to the Swans. Okay, they're not going up this season, but they were threatened with going down when he took over. And he's got them well clear. So what do we know about Vitor Matos? Well, not a lot really, but we're hoping we're going to find out a lot more here in our special interview on the Rob and Blakey Commentary Box podcast. We're loud and clear on Welsh football. We'll be loud and clear on Vitor Matos.
Everyone, pleasure to be here.
I bet you never thought you'd see Nathan Blake in a first team dress.
No, he wishes.
I think
he wishes he sees
there
Nathan
was some
Blake.
security outside, so yeah.
Yeah, they're waiting for when I leave.
No, but good, a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Well, we're delighted to have you. It's been November the 24th. It's in my mind. That's when you were appointed. 120 odd days since you got here.
For a manager lifetime is a good one already. Yeah?
It's longer than some managers in the Championship, as you well know, in the last few weeks.
Good.
How have you found it?
I think it's being quite positive in terms of developing, in terms of starting. Of course, a lot of games. When you arrive, you just get a proper punch of games. And you need to deal with that, just need to find a common ground to start building everything around. And I think that's what we did in terms of lineup, in terms of idea, and then start going. Developing is key, of course. There's a lot of things we can do and improve. There's a lot of things that we still are in the start. But so far I think it's being quite positive, quite happy with the players as well, with the club, the direction of the club we are now going, the culture we want. That's quite important for us as well. And like everything, it's not easy and quick to build a culture, but it's more important that we have that direction of a winning culture, a culture where we want to perform, a culture where we want to do the things right and do as well the things with an identity. And I think that's quite challenging, but at the same time quite motivated for me, and that's why I'm here.
So when you come in at the start, are you thinking to yourself, right, I want to implement my ideas straight away on the team, or is it something you look and think, I'm going to gradually introduce what I want to happen?
Yeah, there's a few things when you start that you need to think. First is how is the team on that moment, on that time, not the previous game. The previous game I arrived was Bristol. The team was playing back five for a few games already, so in my mind was quite clear, I need to change the structure. Then there's need to be important that you have quite clear what is the starting point. And when you have the starting point, then you step by step you can start doing changes. The most important ones is what puts the team more competitive on that moment. And was quite clear for us that we wanted to be much more aggressive with and without the ball, having a clear structure as well. And with that, starting to build, starting to developing, starting to see the players. But then, you see the players on games, and in games you need to compete. So that's the balance we try to add on that moment. It's quite important as well, because when you change the way of training, when you change the way of playing, sometimes it's quite hard for a player, so you can have injuries.
They're judging you as well, right?
Yeah.
The players are looking at the training and thinking, okay.
Yeah, where this guy
I've
came,
been
huh?
there. Okay, let's see what's got.
Yeah,
right?
but that's easy. They are good. They are good. They are a good squad. They were, how I say, they were greed to learn, and they were greed to do the next steps and trying to improve. And I think when you catch this kind of environments and this kind of squads, you have everything
That hunger
already,
and
because
desire
you just you
Yeah.
just need to feed them. And I think that was quite important for me in the beginning as well, because was okay, that's the situation we are, let's say, on that time, which is not good, and everyone a little bit in a way of, okay, is a quite harsh position, let's say relegation, panicking a little bit. So what we have now, and that is more about accepting and knowing, okay, so that's what we have now, that's what we are, so let's start doing the right steps, and let's start build something that everyone from the beginning start loving each other in terms of playing with each other. So it's almost impossible when you are in a team and you know that, and you don't enjoy playing with your teammates. And that's the first step.
Creating a good culture, right?
If you start by that, then everything starts to go around. And
Absolutely.
that was the message in the beginning. Doing the right things over and over. Maybe don't expect straight on to win, but accept that that's the best way to win as well, and to find the best moments. And that's what has been. So quite challenging, but quite fun as well.
Yeah, players got to enjoy coming into training, because I think there's an idea that you're a footballer and everybody enjoys football, going in every day, but it's work, right? And there's some people sometimes in your work, in your job, who you don't get on with. You know?
We are really lucky to do what we like, and I think that's quite important as well. But there's more. I would say there's moments where you enjoy more than the others, and winning always help on that moments as well. But I think that's quite important, that when you arrive on the training session, you give 100% of you, because if you put 100%, you get out 100%. And for that, you need to have the right mindset. And that was quite clear from the beginning, that what happens on the pitch needs to be the most important thing for us as a team. The second one is understanding that we need to squeeze everything we can from the situation we are, and doing the right steps in terms of a collective idea. And then you just start building. You just start going in direction of finding different solutions from different problems. Is a quite, like we were speaking, is a quite competitive league. A lot of teams are different. You can catch a team who tries to have more dominance with the ball, tries to be more in control with the ball, but then you go against a team who is more direct, more vertical,
Millwall.
Channel, long throw-ins.
Millwall, Norwich.
Yeah, for example.
Norwich
different now, is quite aggressive as well with the ball and without the ball.
They had to,
They have a good moment. But you go there and it's a different kind of game you need to compete. So finding the ways to compete on these games, that's what we need to keep improving as well. It happens a lot when is a squad with a lot of players coming from abroad, which they need time as well to adjust to the league and to the teammates as well. And then is when that's starting to come, when everyone's starting to go on that moment, I think that's quite important, and I think that's what's being until now.
Why do you think Swansea City picked you?
That's a good question for Tom and the owners.
It's an even better one for you.
Yeah, I think the main thing was, what can we do now? That was one part of the question. So that's the situation we are. What can we do to improve the squad and to improve the game quality on the moment? And I think that's a major thing to create the first steps. Then it's about the vision. So then it's about what you want for the club for the next 3 years, what you want to build, what you want to develop. Because even if we look to the teams on the championship, the teams who are on the, let's say, on the top 3, even some teams on the top 6. The project started a few time ago, and that consistency of and as well vision of recruitment, playing style, culture of the club, manager, fans. When these all starts having this vision, that's when the club starts thriving. And I think that's what probably I try to explain. And yeah, I think that was the start of the conversation. There was a lot of common ground as well between my idea, the vision of the owners, of Tom as well. And I think that common ground was quite clear for all of us on the interviews. And when that happens, is quite good. So a good feeling overall, not because I had a pretty face, which is not the case as well. But yeah, that was nice. That was a
and
nice
it takes
thought.
time to gather all that together, right?
Yeah, it takes time and needs to take time, because if it doesn't take time, it's not consistent enough.
Yeah.
And that's what nowadays is hard to explain and hard to accept, but that's the truth. You see even on the Premier League clubs how hard it is if you don't have consistency on the vision, on the identity, and then on recruitment, and then on the culture you want. Then you start realizing that then it's almost impossible to compete. So if you look to the clubs that now are competing in the Premier League for the title this season, you see how long they are with the same. And that's quite important, because in the end is what allows the club, one, to have sustainability, and at the same time to have a clear way of working. And I think that's what we want. The first feeling we all had in the talks was we all wanted to create something. Was there something that was starting, but we all wanted something starting to grow. And that's where we all agree on something, and that was good.
I think the worry for managers now is everything's got to be short-term success almost, and you're not allowed to go through periods where 6, 7, 8 games you might not get a point, or you might only get 1 or 2 points, and the pressure starts to build, right? But I always say, in any project that's going to take minimum 3 years, I would say, to get the success, you're going to have periods, right, where you're going to be not so good.
100%. It's because then it's about, that's when you can develop as well.
Absolutely, yeah. You learn more from losing than you do from winning.
Yes, right? I always say it's always better and easy to learn from winning, but you learn a lot from losing. And to give the next steps, sometimes it's quite clear which ones you need to do after a defeat. Just on our case, for example, it's quite clear that this mentality of being clinical, of just being ultra competitive, of doing this next step in some games is quite clear. That is not you go there to the shop and you just buy that. No, you need to create and you need to develop that. You need to have the right time for that to grow inside of the players. And for that, you need that important word that is time. So, yeah, on the moment we live, I think all of us as managers, we understand that we need to deliver results on the short term. That's the truth. There's no other truth from that. But at the same time, it's not fair to the club and to the fans if you don't think on the future. And I think that's what we want. That's what we are trying, that improving what we have, building foundations from what we have, and then start thinking on the future. And I think that's important.
So your position has improved a lot since you arrived. You're not going down, you're not going up this season. How much then do you feel you can improve this summer? What does that mean as far as recruitment goes, would you say?
I think it's...
Because you've done the initial thing.
Yes.
Because as you said, when you walked in, there was talk, there was worries about relegation.
Yes.
They're not there now.
I think it's quite important that first we build or we want to build from what we have. I said that from the beginning. When I arrive, I still think, and that's what we will do, that is use the squad we have, use the foundations that we create, and from these ones then start building something. So it's never a good feeling when you just build something straight on from zero, just, okay, 15 players out, 50 players in, because then you lose everything. So we wanted to start creating a core group, a group who identifies with the club, with the culture of the club, with the country, with the city. That's why it was quite important for us, for example, renewing the contract with Jay, and even with Andy. So that's important. So the core group starts staying, and that needs to be, let's say, the foundation in terms of values.
That's Jay Fulton and Andy Fisher, for those who don't.
There was more, there was VP as well. But just what I'm trying to say is there needs to be a core group. That needs to be the basis of the team in terms of squad, in terms of leadership group, in terms of values, and then adding important pieces of the puzzle. And I think it can only do that when you know your players, when you know the players who are on loan, when you know the academy, when you know what you can use as well in terms of squad for the future, short term, medium term. And I think that's what we've been doing it. So these games until now were massive for that, because then you realize which positions you can use some players, which positions you can build around, and then it's about what we can do on the market. And but that's quite important for me, that we use the basics of what we have done for this season, which is quite important, and then add on the positions we believe and on the kind of profiles of players we need for the future.
So you would say, just picking up on something you said earlier, do you think you need more British-based players?
No, I think
going forward.
Yes, I think
what played in the Premier League or played in the Championship.
I think what we need is important, that we as well understand that we need effectiveness straight on as well. So it's important that we use, or we look to the market, which sometimes can drift as well, on a way that, okay, that player can in the short term deliver straight on. He knows the league, he knows the context, he is consistently playing on the Championship as well for an amount of games. So that is something that you can rely straight on. And I think that's important for us. It's important because
helps the foundation, right?
Yes, it's just, you just give experience, you just give players who can have impact straight on, and I think that will be quite important for us. Doesn't mean that we're gonna get 4 or 5 of them, because you never know how the market can go as well. Which means is what we want is quite clear. Then let's see how it goes.
Big decision to come here then for you and your family.
Yeah.
Were there any sort of doubts in your mind?
No,
and how the family settled? Tell us about...
Yeah, everyone said the weather is unbelievable, so, which is not true.
Which is not true.
No, but I knew, because I did my pro license here, so I knew quite well the place. So for me it was easy moving. It was an easy decision, let's say like that. Especially after speaking with ownership and with Tom, the project, the ideas, the common ground was massive. Having this idea of building an offensive team, building a team who wants to be dominant, building a team who wants to compete against everyone, and step by step put the team closer to the positions which I believe are the positions of this club. And I just felt straight on in love for that. So then it's about moving the family, of course. Not easy. I have 3 kids. But the old one already are used, let's say, 2 of them are in the international school. 1 was as well in an English school. So they knew the system, let's say like that, the education system. Now they are learning Welsh as well, which is
Oh,
quite,
wow.
which is quite fun.
Do you know any Welsh?
Yeah, but you don't want to hear that on here.
No, I think
for
we
sure.
probably...
No. So that's good. Was good. Was quite easy to settle. They arrive here around Christmas time, and they settle quite well. The club helped a lot as well, having these transitions. Everyone was quite caring and nice to us, and I think that that was just helped a lot. Maybe I was not at home, that's why it was easy as well, because we had so many games over that time. So
and while you're winning, it always helps as well.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, they can say that for sure.
yeah.
So
Because
but,
it's a, you know, people forget this. We've talked about this before, haven't we, Nathan? You know, footballers can move and managers move. I mean, I was looking at the countries you've been to. You've been all over the place. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you know, it's not just you moving, is it?
No.
It's not just your coaches. It's easy for you in a way because it's your job. Easier, yeah.
Yeah.
But
so you have to be successful, right?
Yeah.
Or you're moving again.
Okay. Yeah.
Very quickly.
But if your family aren't settling,
Yeah,
then that
tough.
can be unsettling for you
yes,
as well in your job.
For me, it's a quite important part.
Yeah.
When you have that feeling that the family settle, where everyone is in the right place, that is just that is quite important. And
Peace
I think,
of mind.
Yeah, and I think that's what happened. School is lovely. People around us are just really caring and really lovely as well with us. So that was really good.
Did your wife watch the games?
Yes. She's good.
What are you looking at me for?
Tell him, go on.
So I've been married 25 years and I played, well, I was married, probably all my...
You cannot miss that date.
Most of my life. June 10th, I know when I was married. But so Julie and Rob can't believe that my wife never watched me play a game of football.
Ever.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. Never means ever. They can't believe it.
Okay.
But that's, you know, players' wives, they don't always love to go to the football, do they?
Yeah. It's a choice. I think it's...
absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's normal. I don't see anything wrong with it.
I spared a lot of heartache.
Yeah.
But you could always celebrate to the television when you score a goal.
Yeah. I do the old baby celebration at times. Yeah.
Just not on this stadium.
Yeah. No, I didn't play here. It was the other ground I used to score at, not this one.
You've done your homework on Nathan. That's good to see. So I said you've been around. I mean, you've worked in China. You did your coaches here, your coaching badges here.
Yeah, pro license. I did it here.
Yeah,
yes.
pro license. You worked in China. You went to the Netherlands for a while.
Just studying. That was when I was in the university. Yeah.
And of course, you grew up in Portugal.
Yeah. So I grew up in Portugal. Played. Not a high level, just regional level is probably the best way to say it. But on the youth, then was quite clear and early for me that I wanted to become a coach. So I did the first one with 18 years old, around that age. I was on the university as well at the same time, sports university in Portugal. Then on that time, Ajax, youth, all of these was a big thing and I wanted to go there and learn. So I went there for 6 months, came back, and then that's when I started coaching in Portugal, in, I would say 4th division in Portugal. Yes, 4th division in Portugal. That's it. Then, football moved me around a few times and Porto youth as well was quite important for me. Then moved to China, 2 years there. Was good in terms of understanding a different culture, understanding as well that you have talent everywhere, understanding how can you impact the life of a kid in a different context of as well. 2 years there, returned to Porto, then Liverpool, Austria, and then Madeira, that is an island in Portugal as well, so it's not mainland. and then here.
So how many languages do you speak?
So fluent, I can say, Portuguese, English, Spanish, French. Then I can sometimes shout a word on another two languages different.
I mean, looking around at the names, Portuguese is quite handy with the players you've got.
It is. French sometimes with Malik is important as well. And then, still not close to here, to Jisung. But I would say
your Korean is not what it was, is it?
Yeah, and then of course Mel, Leo, so the north of Europe boys, they all speak really well English, so it's fine.
Yeah,
so it's good. But it helps a lot.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that I was never in my mind, let's say, to have that, but as I was starting to coach more and more, I start realizing that is really important. In one way, you can easily connect with the player. You just emotionally connect quite easy because you speak his mother language. Helps a lot because some don't speak in here English as well. So that's important in terms of communication, of course. But I think is quite important nowadays, especially because the markets are so open that you can catch good players from everywhere. So when you can speak their language, makes everything easier. Of course, I think it's quite important that you speak the language of the place you are, because it's a kind of a respect, I would say, as well, cultural-wise, and I think that's important.
I played with Roy Hodgson, and the first time I seen a manager switch from English to Italian to French in about Italian 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. And what he said to me was how important it was for the detail.
Yes, that's massive.
Right. The detail for the player, the individual player.
That's massive.
It was so important.
Yeah, because it's sometimes I always say the same concept for all here can have different meanings, right? So, and we all speak English. So imagine if then one of us doesn't understand English. So that is quite important. If you can go then into the detail of that situation, offensive one or defensive one, on their language, is just much more quicker. And I think that's as well important.
Yeah, I once said to a player, "Be careful, we're playing Millwall."
But not swearing.
No, they go long ball, and he was like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, they go long ball. Like, what, the ball is longer?" No.
Yeah, that could happen here as well.
Yeah. So you're right; it could get misconstrued.
That's cool.
Well, yeah, it's actually a bit of a tradition with Swansea. You know, Roberto Martinez can speak. I don't know how many languages. Michael Laudrup could speak.
True.
Loads of different languages. Now yourself as well.
Yeah, there's Paulo Sousa, Portuguese, but he played Germany, Italy. Carlos Carvalhal as well can speak a few languages. So I think it's when you think nowadays on football, is of course quite helpful to have more than one. Let's say like that.
What is it about Portugal producing coaches? I tell you why. I'll make Nathan embarrassed now. But years ago, when Cardiff were looking for a manager, he said, "There's a guy in Portugal doing really well. I would have no qualms about taking him." It turned out it was Marco Silva.
Okay.
So what is it about Portugal and coaches? Because, you know, Mourinho, obvious one, but you've named others as well.
I think it's there's what first is a country who loves football, like here, but it's the main sport. Everyone loves to play. Everyone, if you go on the street, some kids are still playing less and less, but they are still playing. So it's a country that is always in love with football, and that's quite important when you want to. It's 11 million people, so when you want to produce players and coaches as well. Then it started. I think there was two moments. One was with Carlos Queiroz. So he was United assistant coach,
right,
Real Madrid manager.
Yeah. He's done this in the World Cup, Iran.
Yeah,
Iran as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's say he was the first bringing an idea of how to coach to Portugal or to the Portuguese coaches. So brought this generation of coaches of that time, and that create impact because was as well out of the country with success. Then was Mourinho, of course, that boom of someone who was not a professional high player, that completely comes. So he goes assistant with Bobby Robson to Barcelona, but was in Portugal, then returns to Portugal. Then with Porto won everything in European competitions and the league and the cup. So having that just create an enormous, at least for me, curiosity, and just everyone starts, okay, you can go on that job without having this past as a top professional player.
You better.
So it just opened another, let's say, window for everyone. And having that together, I think that's what put a lot of us, let's say, on the spotlight. And then, then it's about developing, then it's about loving the game, trying to know more and more. We are all different. We are all different in terms of influences as well. But yeah, I think having, or as a Portuguese, having someone like Mourinho, so success as well, and opening so many doors for everyone, is just create a lot of places. And then of course everyone is doing well. Marco did an unbelievable job, not only in Fulham but now in Fulham as well, so opens another one. And I think that's what it is, to be fair.
Got a decent footballer as well by the name of Ronaldo, is
Yeah.
it? Yeah, he's not bad
Some
inspiration,
people
is
say
he?
as well.
He's not a bad inspiration, is he?
No, he's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable. He's a monster in everything. So it's just, that's the level of being ultra competitive. That I think is a machine.
Portugal going to win the World Cup?
Yeah, World Cup is a special competition. No, you have a lot of really good national teams. But yeah, I just love Portugal national team as well. I think we have so much quality, so much potential, so much good players in many positions. So yeah, who knows? I will be looking forward to watch them. That's for sure.
Are you going?
No,
we're not.
Yeah, I don't want to throw that one, but
No, it's okay. We did it for you. It's okay.
but I think no, I will not go.
Too much work to do here.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's it. I want to be on one side as well. I think it's important that we settle, but at the other side as well, I know it will be a quite demanding period for me. So I prefer to be calm and watching from abroad the games.
I mean, you mentioned the World Cup there, or maybe I did, but we talked about the World Cup. How do you cope now with, you're training today, this is the start of the week after the World Cup games, and you've got Adam Eder, lost out with the Republic of Ireland, Ethan Galbraith, lost out with Northern Ireland, Liam Cullen, Ben Kabanga in the Wales squad. We know what happened against Bosnia. How do you cope with that when they come back to your club? Or have you already spoken to them about it? Because they're bound to be disappointed, aren't they? You don't want that coming into your club. You see what I mean?
They are human beings.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing we need to understand as well. So they are all human beings. They all deal with the situation differently as well. Spoke with all. I think these moments are more important to, let's say, understand, not overthinking sometimes, but finding a way as well. Because it's a lot of things, different games, different opponents, speaking in all of them. But I think the feeling that you are so close to a qualification, that is a massive one for a World Cup. It's already a step. After that, it can be the schedule, it can be the moment in terms of players available for the international periods, and as well the culture you want for your federation. And for that you need to think on the youth development, you need to think on the competitions around the country, you need to think how the academy of your main clubs are. So when you start thinking on that, when you start looking for the future, because that's what's about, if you want to go to the World Cup, is 4 and 4 years. So okay, you close this window, so what is the next one that will open? What is the project? What is the foundations? How it will be this squad in 4 years? What will be the main ones? What will be the idea, the identity? I think Craig did an unbelievable job creating this identity with the team. They did really unbelievable games, attacking, trying to dominate the game with the ball as well, with flexibility building, how they arrive on the last third. I think that's good. Now it's about, okay, that's the direction. So let's start building over that and over that. So don't judging the situation of not going to the World Cup as the, let's say, the main thing. No, it's massive, of course. If you have that opportunity, go for it with everything. But if you don't get it there, keep pushing yourself on that. And for that, you need all of this. You need the clubs close to the federation, you need the youth development, you need the youth schedule organized, you need to do a lot of work. And I think that's what it is. For my side as a manager, dealing with all the players is more about knowing that they are all different, they all had different expectations as well of going there.
Have you spoken to any of them? Or?
Yeah, with all of them.
You've spoken to all of them?
Yes,
Yeah.
all of them. Different feeling after the game as well is completely different when you lose the game by itself, like it was Gali, or you go for penalties, like was both Adam and Liam and Ben. But that's how we need to look at. You didn't qualify on a penalty situation, so there's so many good stories that you didn't qualify because of that, but on the next one you were there. And if we think back, Italy missed the last two or the last one.
Yes. Yeah.
So
And they won the Euros in between.
yeah, and they won the Euros in between.
Yeah.
So it's about, that's what I'm trying to say, is about that, about how you look to the next competition, how you then, okay, that's where we are now, that's our strengths, that's what we can build from, and just keep pushing yourself, because there's no other way. And I think that's what the boys need. Of course, they need time as well to settle. As a club, we will for sure take care of them. I think the first important thing is that they feel the love of our fans and the love of the players who will be here for them when they arrive. And one thing they know already is that I have a lot of energy to give them. So that's it. I'm just looking forward them to arrive here. There's one more game, which is probably the game no one wants to play. So yeah, I don't know why, but someone make that decision. But yeah, they play this game. Hopefully they will get through the game without big issues in terms of fitness-wise and injuries. And
so you've made it clear to us that you've got a duty of care to your players
Of course.
beyond just
Absolutely.
when they leave these
Yes,
four walls
yes,
in your
yes,
training ground.
Yeah, that
And
needs-
beyond just the injuries. You
That-
don't just wait for them to come back and say, how are you? You've already spoken to them, and
yeah,
you
I think that's
key for you.
for me as a manager, yes, but cannot be just for me. It needs to be for the club.
Right.
Because that needs to be the culture you want to build as well. That wherever you go, you still are a Swansea player. So you are playing for your national team, top, unbelievable, but you still are a Swansea player as well. And you are there, we need to as well take care of them. We need to check how they are, if they felt something to report, how was the game. So we decided to just having coaches taking care of the players, if something special, speaking with them, me as well speaking with them. So I think that's quite important. Not only not overwhelming them, but
Genuine.
they know that we are there.
It's a genuine care,
Yes.
right? It's a team. It's when you talk about team
And I think that's good. And I think that's important.
Yeah.
I'd agree. Yeah.
So I got a couple of quickies to ask you.
Okay.
Are you superstitious?
No, I will not say not. I'm not. I don't have nothing. I make fun of the superstitions. That's something I do as well. So I can say, yeah, we won because we parked the car on that spot. So we parked the car again, but it's not a superstition. I like to make fun of that more than being a superstitious.
Yeah.
That's quite clear for me.
No left boot, right boot.
No.
Lace, right lace.
But I respect that as well, because it's funny, no? How you understand superstitious is they come from a place on the human side as well, no? And if they come from a place, sometimes it's important for that player that you understand them, and then with time, because sometimes some are more tricky than others, you start understanding that you are in control and not the other way around. So, and sometimes it's important that we respect and then we help some players to get over that, because, as you know, sometimes it's quite tricky for a player.
Were you superstitious?
I think it's one of the major things. Like confidence is one of the major things in football, because here's I think it was Jurgen saying it, and it's a really nice way of understanding that is like a flower. So it grows and someone steps in, and then you just again, and then starts growing again. So, and confidence is like that. You always need to, is always there, but you need always to take care of that, because sometimes you'll get stopped, someone will stood on it, and then, it goes down, but then again, it needs to come back again. So helping the player to have that and find ways to get over that, that's quite important.
That's the first time we mentioned Jurgen Klopp in this interview. I bet you're surprised by that.
True. It's a quite surprise one that we know, but this is a massive influence for me as well, a friend, so you can make questions about it.
No, we're fine. We're fine. We kept you long enough. But one thing I do want to ask you, you're very calm, and I've watched you from the press box, and you're not bad on the side. You're sort of, but this place, does it echo to your voice on match day sometimes?
What do you mean?
Do you shout a lot in here?
I don't know what I can say. Sometimes yes, sometimes it depends.
Because you come over really calm and pleasant, but there has to be another side.
Yeah, the dressing room is a different gig. What happens in the dressing room stays in the dressing room.
That's a main thing as well. Sometimes it's more about the feeling you have. I think sometimes you don't win a lot shouting by shouting. Sometimes you need to shake them as well, and that decision is your feeling. I always say that's why every manager is different, and that's why there's no idea to copy anyone, because it's about these moments. It's about a sub, when you do the sub, why you do the sub, why you brought that player up. It's about on these situations where maybe you should shout, maybe you should not shout, maybe you should keep things down, maybe you need to fire them up. It's about the when and the how. So that's, I think, is what can define a manager, and that's why all of us are different.
That's the importance of knowing your players as well, right?
Yes, because all of them react different from that moment. All of them react different if I expose them in front of everyone or if I speak with them on private. And knowing that, that's quite important, because that's the main idea for us as a manager, I believe, is we need to take the best out of them. And to take the best out of them, some things it's the same for everyone. But a lot of things are different from everyone.
Individual.
Yes. And when you understand that, that's massive. Some things, it's clear you need to, if you want to play for here and for me, you need to defend and you need to run. That's non-negotiable for everyone. Let's say like that. Other things is different. Other things you need to understand that player has a family. That player didn't sleep or had a problem at home. That player needed maybe more time to recover. That player needed more exposure to push himself to the next level. So, and I think that's where quite important that we know our players and we have a feeling for them.
Well, that just about does it for me. What about you, Nate?
Yeah, that's great. Good night from me.
Yeah. It's okay. Well, listen, Vitor, it's been fantastic having you on the podcast. Thank you so much.
No, it's a pleasure.
Diolch yn fawr.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I tempt you to get a bit of Welsh?
No.
No? Okay.
Not yet.
Listen, all the best for the rest of the season. Starting
you
with
very
Sheffield
much.
United on Friday. The Blades, one of his old clubs.
I know.
Yeah.
He studied me.
Okay.
He studied.
Wolves, Leicester.
Leeds.
There's another
Bolton,
club,
Blackburn.
closely, but I don't know the name.
Yeah.
It's that beautiful blue,
Oh my
beautiful
God.
blue bird you'll see.
Yeah.
Right. And on that note, I think we should make our exit now. Listen, thank you, Vitor, again. Really appreciate it. And we have plenty more to come.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, well, we don't like to overstay our welcome.
No, thank you very much. That was a pleasure.